Yeah.
So please talk me about what I have to do in my swing different.
So we sort of did it from a slightly speed perspective and a good swing perspective. So we changed your swing and we changed a few of the elements that can make it go faster. And we'll just talk about it, Martin, in the order we did it. So you had in old-fashioned terms a hammer grip. So the first thing we did there was I changed the position here in your fingers to get it from out the tips here and into this sort of base across the bottom of these middle two fingers. And as you were swinging it back there, as your hand was sort of separating here, it wasn't really giving you a great position at the top. Low right elbow, high left shoulder, and it was very low at the bottom. Then when you started your downswing, it got up. So we moved that into what I would call a trigger finger grip. Made sure that there was no separation of your hands here. And that was going to get us into a decent position at the top where we secure it. One of the things we were trying to do as the lesson went on was try and get some height to these hands. They're very, very sort of low, and they go low and high as opposed to sort of high and low the other way round. We then were working with this sort of DIY band drill, where I had this under your foot, and we were carrying on from this as we sort of moved this up. So we had this left side down a bit, right side high, very exaggerated, but just to get some space into this arm and stop your sort of opposite movement to that.
And so that's a 5-pound tool.
Probably 50p.
50p. Great.
Now the other thing we were saying was that by allowing your right hand to sit correctly and then from moving that down, it should enable us, as you can hear from this club travelling through, to be able to get more speed into this end of the club. So this was also not only to secure some nice width, it did allow you to move your hand and the club better through the ball there. And then we went to just before lunch there, where we were then trying to sort of get you to land it a little bit better here. We saw this sort of narrowness, came in narrow and went out narrow the other side. So we tried to get a little bit of width here, aided by the fact that your right hand was in better position. And then a very different look here. To get this lovely extension through here, you tend to get sort of really tight this side. So we were trying to get some speed out and getting that club working out there. That was sort of what we were doing with the irons. It wasn't so much to do with speed, it was also swinging it very well as well.
Yeah, but it gave me, just with the same movement, I think up to 95 miles per hour and 6 iron.
It did. Yeah,
and that just 3-4 miles added, but even I didn't try to hit it hard.
No, and every mile an hour helps a little bit, yeah?
Yeah.
And then after lunch we did a little bit of driver work, so it was interesting to see your driver, and if I just grab your driver there, Martin, that we were using today. There was a slightly different move going on. Got very sort of high left-sided in the early phase of your takeaway, and that very often gets you swinging it behind, and then you try to recover that on the way down, but it got us in a bit of a problem with the unwinding. So some of the things that we did in the first part of the lesson we're going to work here, but also how the ribs work. So I've got that sort of bungee around your rib cage, and I've got us to sort of sense where the angle of your turn, so this was going to be a little bit lower than this one, and then from front on the amount of turn, how we were going to get it here, just to get a better backswing. And that took us back to where we were with the iron, where I could get a much better arm position. And really from then on, it was where we were going to go on the downswing. So as you tend to move down, unfortunately, you tend to move a little bit high right shouldered, opening out towards the ball. Your hands are going to go sort of this way. And it's going to cause you generally to fade it a little bit. So we worked on a few things which then related back to earlier in the day. We got this really exaggerated movement where we were moving your arms down very quickly. We were doing it without any body movement. And as your arms move down sort of behind your bum, we've got this very close face here. And it looks like a very exaggerated exercise, but when you added your turn on, it didn't look exaggerated at all. And when we went back to flight scope, it gave us some very good numbers from a path and a face, albeit the angle of attack got a little bit high.
Yeah, too high. I think it's about up to 14.
Yeah.
Crazy numbers.
We know it go up a little bit, but not that much.
Yeah.
But the truth is, when you play, we're not gonna get those numbers.
No.
And this was just a huge exaggeration exercise. So we then saw on video, we really started to get some really good positions coming in. It didn't feel probably didn't look as it felt. It was actually in really good shape coming into the ball. And we know from a speed perspective, this will give us more speed because your arms are also going to move down a little quicker. We know we want this nice bit of hand speed here. but also from a playing point of view, it's a lovely place to deliver the club from. And from a body sequence point of view, it's a better place to get some speed up with the way you're working your body. And you hit some good shots there at the end with regards to the numbers on it.
Yeah, I think that's it for today.
Yes, I mean, there's a bit of homework there, Martin, yeah?
Yeah.
So you've got a bit to do, yeah?
I love homework.
Yeah.
I'm the guy who loves homework and working in the next weeks and months on that. And we'll send you some swings and doing that.
Yeah, so it'll be very interesting to see how that goes on from there, Martin. So
Yeah.
certainly, as we said, good swings are also fast swings with a little bit of speed stuff, but just swinging those patterns better, you will be much faster for sure.
Yeah, thank you.